Welcome to the Deep Dive. You're here because you need to get smart on important topics fast. Today, we're doing a deep dive into something, well, absolutely critical for legal firms, leveraging redaction effectively. Think of this as your shortcut to understanding why this is way more than just, blacking out words.
Exactly. We've been looking through this document, how legal firms should leverage redaction. And what really jumps out is that this isn't just some small admin task.
Yeah.
It's fundamental.
Right, fundamental to how they operate responsibly, legally, all of it. So, our mission today, pull out the key info. Why do firms need their redaction down cold, and what are the best ways? Let's dive in. What is redaction, basically?
Well, at its core, it's about removing or hiding private identifiable information. You have to do it before documents get shared outside the firm.
Okay, seems straightforward enough.
Yeah, but it serves two big purposes. First, keeping up with all the privacy laws out there. And second, maybe even more importantly now, it's a defense against cyber attacks and data breaches.
Right. But it sounds easy, doesn't it? Just grab a marker. The source material suggests it's much harder.
Oh, absolutely. For firms dealing with tons of sensitive data, it's a huge challenge. Complex, costly, much more than you'd think.
That's the key thing, isn't it? The sheer volume they handle.
Exactly. Volume, plus stricter privacy rules, plus the constant risk of data theft. It makes redaction a major operational hurdle.
And the consequences if they get it wrong. We'll get into that, I'm sure.
Definitely. They're serious.
And this isn't just a lawyer problem, is it? This affects, well, everyone whose data they hold.
Precisely. I mean, we all hand over personal data. How it's protected or not protected, that has real impact on it.
Data privacy isn't niche anymore. It feels like a basic expectation now.
It really is. And the trust we put in people handling our data, especially lawyers with super sensitive stuff, it's huge. One mistake there can really shatter that trust. Big repercussions.
So the document really hammers this home. Protecting client data is priority number one for legal firms. It's not just checking a box. It's regulations and that essential client confidence.
Absolutely. Having solid redaction policies that keep up with changing laws isn't optional anymore. It's foundational. The potential fallout from not securing data properly, it can be pretty severe.
Okay, let's get specific. When we say sensitive data in this legal context, what are we talking about?
Good question. The document defines it as private, identifiable information collected for business. Could be physical files, but mostly electronic these days.
Examples.
Yeah, things like social security numbers, health information, financial data, the kind of stuff that could really cause harm if leaked.
And lawyers deal with this constantly, obviously. It depends on their specialty, but it's everywhere.
Exactly. And that client, trust and security, it's paramount. Doesn't matter if it's a big corporate firm or a small family practice, confidentiality is non-negotiable.
The document also mentioned how privacy laws have changed. Evolved, really. It started more about preventing direct harm, like identity theft. Right. But now it's broader. It's about giving individuals actual ownership and control over their data. It's not just about stopping immediate harm anymore.
That's a big shift, more about individual rights.
A really key shift, yes. It fundamentally changes how organizations, especially legal firms, have to think about data. Okay, so that brings us to PII, personally identifiable information. The source gave a list based on Homeland Security.
It did. PII is anything that can identify a specific person, directly or indirectly.
Like what, specifically?
Well, the examples highlighted are things like social security numbers, passport info, driver's license numbers, also medical and financial records, alien registration numbers, criminal records, even biometrics like fingerprints.
Wow, okay. That's a wide net.
It really is. It shows how much data needs careful handling.
And the source ties this to technology, right? Technology plus stricter laws means firms have to change how they operate. Efficient redaction is critical now.
Exactly. The old ways just don't cut it. Digital transformation plus these regulations demand a much better approach. Efficient redaction isn't a nice-to-have, it's essential.
And there's also PHI-protected health information. HIPAA comes into play here, especially for certain firms.
Absolutely. PHI is identifiable health info, and HIPAA gives it strong protection. Individuals have rights to view and get copies of their records. Personal injury firms, for example, deal with this constantly. They need rock-solid HIPAA compliance and proper PHI redaction.
Okay, so we know what needs protecting and why. But the methods, the document talks about common law practice redaction methods that many firms still use.
Yeah, it's kind of concerning, actually. Despite all the tech and risks, lots of offices still use manual methods.
Like physical markers, whiteout.
I got it. physical markers, whiteout on paper files, or really basic markup tools on electronic ones.
It sounds insufficient.
It really is.
Yeah.
Like trying to secure Fort Knox with tape.
Okay, let's break down the Sharpie redaction method. Sounds exactly like what it is.
Pretty much. You print the document, black out the sensitive bits with a marker, then scan it back in to share digitally.
Flaws.
Oh, plenty. Human error is almost guaranteed. And believe it or not, sometimes even thick black marker can be seen through with advanced imaging tech. The info might still be recoverable.
Seriously. Okay, what about manual redaction on electronic files? That skips the printing at least.
True, maybe a bit quicker on the surface. But the document flags it as unreliable, too. It often needs an attorney to manually check every single redaction.
Which screams inefficiency.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
It's time-consuming, still prone to errors, and the fact a lawyer has to review each one just shows how risky it feels. A reliable automated tool could just eliminate that whole manual review step.
It's kind of baffling these manual ways are still common given wasted time, money, redo work. The source lays it all out.
The inefficiency is bad, yeah, but the risks are the real killer. These old methods just aren't built for modern digital files and today's privacy rules.
And the specific errors mentioned. Incomplete marker coverage. Relying on standard forms instead of checking the actual content.
Or using insecure black boxes with comment tools. Those can often just be deleted by the recipient.
Deleted, so the info is right there.
Potentially, yes. Or even just changing font color to white, thinking it's hidden. It demonstrates a real lack of understanding about how digital data works.
Because deleting the visual isn't enough.
Yeah.
There's underlying data, metadata.
Exactly. We'll get more into metadata, but yes, the hidden information can still betray what you thought you removed.
And the consequences, if these methods fail, they're not small, are they?
Not at all. We're talking hefty fines, sanctions, potentially even criminal charges, losing your license,
Right.
damaging the firm's reputation irreparably. The stakes are incredibly high.
That's made very clear. Just one mistake can be devastating.
Totally.
Then there's inadvertent disclosure, accidental slip-ups, right? Often during discovery or court filings.
Yes, a huge concern. Those accidental disclosures, they can violate attorney-client privilege, lead to civil penalties, barred disciplinary action, lawsuits. The frustration and cost trying to fix it after the fact, often because of bad redaction, it's immense.
So it all circles back to that direct question the document asks. Is your law firm redacting private data properly? A real wake-up call.
It is. The point is, you need meticulous redaction. Physical files, digital files, before anyone unauthorized might see them. And sticking with manual methods, knowing their flaws, that's a big risk firms need to face head-on.
Which is where the source pivots to technology. AI tools, like iDox-ai, are mentioned as an automated way to find and securely redact data.
Yeah, this is presented as a really critical evolution. AI-powered redaction offers huge potential improvements. Automation, accuracy, efficiency. It tackles the limits and risks of manual work directly.
Finding and securely redacting.
Right. Automatically. Providing much better protection and helping ensure compliance.
It's not just convenience then. The legal requirements demand better protection, and tech helps meet that.
Exactly. Compliance isn't optional. It's legally mandated. Tools like iDox-ai Redact are framed as essential aids. They help meet obligations, protect clients, prevent costly mistakes, and importantly, free up staff time.
So the main message is, redacting confidential data is crucial for trust and compliance. Manual methods are just too risky now.
They really are. With electronic documents being standard, sticking to old ways is, well, it's exposing firms unnecessarily. Adopting trustworthy, timely, cost-effective processes isn't a choice. It's necessary for survival.
And iDox.ai Redact is highlighted as that kind of solution. Quick, reliable, especially for large volumes and complex compliance needs.
Yes, it's presented as a tool built for the specific challenges legal firms face here. Better efficiency, accuracy, and built-in compliance features.
Okay, let's talk best practices then. The source stresses constant vigilance, staying ahead of evolving privacy laws. It's ongoing, not a one-off fix.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Laws change, threats evolve. You need a commitment to continuous improvement. The goal is always protecting data effectively while still allowing necessary access for those authorized.
And iDox.ai Redact comes up again here. Easy to use for big projects, compliant with key regulations like FOIA, Privacy Act, GDPR, CCPA, HIPAA. That's a broad range.
Shows it's designed to help navigate that complex web of rules, international, federal, state, more confidently.
And because things are always changing, the document really pushes automated tools as the most reliable way. Avoid human error, maintain client trust.
Precisely. Automation gives consistency and accuracy that manual methods just can't match, especially with moving targets like legal standards and tech.
Okay, diving into specific best practices. First one, avoid redacting original documents. Seems basic, but why is it critical?
It's fundamental. You always work with copies. Secure the originals, redact the copies meant for disclosure. Messing with original legal documents, that can cause huge problems, data loss, destroying evidence, even invalidating the document legally.
Makes sense. Okay, next big warning. Avoid using basic markup tools for redaction, like the ones in standard PDF readers. People must think drawing a black box is enough.
It's a super common mistake, but dangerous. Those tools are often insecure. They don't guarantee real redaction or compliance
Why not?
because the underlying data is often still there. Someone with basic tech skills can frequently recover it. The visual layer is just the surface. True redaction removes the data completely.
Which brings us to metadata redaction. You mentioned this earlier. I bet many people aren't even aware of metadata. What is it, and why is redacting it crucial?
Exactly. Metadata is data about data. It's all the hidden info associated with a file. Things like descriptive details, version history, embedded images, who created it, when it was modified. And crucially, this hidden stuff can contain the very sensitive info you thought you'd blacked out visually.
Mhm.
The document lists different types: descriptive, reference, structural, administrative, statistical, showing how much can be lurking there.
And dedicated software, like iDox-ai Redact, is built to find and remove this automatically. That's a key advantage of AI tools.
That's a fundamental advantage, yes. It goes way beyond the visible text. It ensures all those hidden layers, including all metadata, are properly sanitized. Massively reduces the risk of accidentally leaking sensitive info.
So this whole section really pushes for effective redaction processes using trustworthy automated software, like iDox.ai Redact. Save time, cut costs, ensure compliance, protect clients.
Precisely. The document highlights ease of use. Users input the data, the tool finds and hides it automatically, removes metadata, integrates with legal software, even creates redaction certificates for accountability. It frees up the legal team for actual legal work, addresses security risks, improves accuracy, cuts down work time.
And the document comes back again to the changing landscape laws, methods requiring constant vigilance, aim higher than minimum standards.
Yeah, it's about being proactive, not reactive. Simplify the process with tools like iDox.ai Redact, ensure compliance across the board. It provides security and confidence.
So the final takeaway seems to be, with data constantly increasing, effective automated redaction is vital. Avoid breaches, protect clients, protect the business, stay competitive.
Absolutely. It's not just compliance anymore. It's fundamental risk management for any legal practice today. Eliminate those manual risks.
Okay, let's try and wrap this up. The core message from this deep dive seems crystal clear. Relying on old manual redaction methods in today's legal world, it's not just slow, it's a massive gamble. We've seen how crucial it is to really get the nuances with sensitive data, the web of privacy laws, the hidden flaws in traditional methods.
Definitely. And the value of modern AI-powered tools like iDox.ai Redact is, well, pretty undeniable. They offer a more secure, much more efficient, and ultimately more cost-effective way for firms to protect client data and their own operations. Avoid those potentially ruinous consequences.
Right. Which leaves us with a final thought for everyone listening. With the sheer volume and sensitivity of digital info growing every single day, how will we individuals and organizations proactively ensure data integrity and privacy in the future? Moving beyond just reacting to the latest regulations, something to think about for sure. It goes way beyond just the legal field. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.